To create inspection in All Country OS, we're going to start by clicking the Inspect button on the home screen. This will bring up a dialog where we can pick the type of material that we need to inspect. In this case, I'm going to use the category filter to select drill pipe and the select part number drop down to select from my list of drill pipe master parts. In this case, we're going to use this 4-inch 14 weight drill pipe. I'm going to click select. And on this next screen, it's just going to ask me to verify the part number. If it's correct, I can click next. On this screen, I'm going to enter in any pertinent customer and location information. For this example, I'm going to be using example company or example customer and Carlos Oil Incorporated as the operator driller. I'm going to populate the AFE, and for the location, I'm going to use example well 2 as the location for the inspection, as well as the well the material is slated to work for. I'm going to change the unit of measure for this 4-inch drill pipe to joints, because that's how I will be billing my customer. In this bulk total section, I'm going to let the system know how much material I'm going to be inspecting. In this case, I'm just going to do 6 joints, and this is range 2 pipe, 31.5 on average. You can see the bulk footage was calculated for me. At the top right, I can elect to backdate this inspection if I'm entering the data after the fact. Now I'm going to click next. On this screen, I can get more specific about the material that I'm inspecting. If I have any internal or external coatings or any other information that might be pertinent for the customer, I can enter it here. For now, I'm simply going to select the standard and specification that I'm going to be inspecting this drill pipe to. And we're going to do a DS1 Cat 3. I'm going to click next. Here, I can set a salesperson. I'm going to set myself as a salesperson, and I'm going to charge my client $15.75 per joint to inspect this drill pipe. And I'm going to click next. We also offer 6 custom fields that you can use to track any proprietary numbers or values. Once I've reached this screen, it's just simply asking me to make sure that I've entered everything correctly, and I can hit confirm if that is the case. This brings me to my inspection screen. As you can see, this grid should be laid out very familiar to anyone who's run an inspection before. It's made to mimic an actual paper inspection sheet, and I can resize these columns to better fit the headers. At the top of the screen, we'll see a summary of everything that we're doing, including the part number, standard specification, range, and we can select an inspector if we have those populated in this, as well as add a comment. The most important thing to note here is this unique ID, 9065, that identifies these 6 joints as the job we're inspecting. So that's the most important piece of information on the screen right now. At the bottom of the screen, we have our touch entry. If you're on a tablet device, this is what you'll be using to enter in your inspection values. However, you can use your mouse and keyboard, as I will be doing here for this inspection. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and populate the serial numbers for these joints. I'm going to use these arrow keys to navigate. As you can see, clicking them changes the highlighted cell. Now, I'm going to populate some serial numbers for these 6 joints. Once I'm done, I can use the arrow keys to navigate to my next column. If you note, each column can have its own set of buttons, and I can use these to quickly assign values to these columns. So for example, the mass checkbox, If the joint is not matched, then I can hit the pass. If it does happen to be matched, I can hit the match button, and it'll leave a check mark, letting the customer know that that damage is present. I can also just use my mouse if I'm on a laptop and mark these present. Coming over to the minimum wall, I can enter my values with my keyboard, or I can use this keypad here to enter in my wall value. I'm going to select 0.33L and hit the enter key, and we see that it populates the value there with our percentage of the nominal wall remaining in the next column. So let's go ahead and finish this one out. And we can continue down the line filling out the information. You can also use fractions instead of decimals if you need to. For the pin OD, we're going to head and use the number pad down here to populate our value. And as you can see, pressing the slash will populate that character in the box for me. We've also included copy and paste functionality since a lot of the values will be repetitive. I'm going to select the cell, hit the copy button, and then paste it on down. Simple as that. I also have classification buttons I can use to assign a final class to the entire joint. So you can see my final class has become C4, and I can assign the rest premiums and C2s, whatever the case might be. Once I'm finished, it's always a good habit to click the Save button. This way, you ensure you have not lost any data. For peace of mind, we've added a last save time at the top right, which will let you know the last time you saved. And this screen also has a built-in autosave feature, should you leave it unattended. Last thing I'm going to do is add a comment to this first joint. Save, and we're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to print this report out for our client using the button at the top left. And in this list, we're going to select Inspection Report. This will open a PDF document that I can save, print, or email. This first page lists the work order, customer, and material information. At the top, we see where it's being inspected at. In the middle, we have the customer information, including our job number, our work order number in the system, AFE, and contact information. Moving down, we have the pipe information section that lists all the known parameters for the drill pipe we inspected. As I continue to scroll down, we'll come up on the summary section, the inspection summary. This is a quick overview of the entire inspection, and it tallies up each of the joints according to their final class. So we see premium, class 2, 3, and 4, as well as any damages present on them will be listed in these tally boxes here. So your customer will be quickly able to see how many premium joints they had and if any of those need repair, or how many failed joints and why they failed. If I continue scrolling, if I hit the next page, we come to the full inspect report, which will populate all the values as they were on the inspection screen. So if I have 600 joints, I'm going to get 600 line items on this section of the page. I can then use this button at the top to save it as Excel, PDF, or Word, or I can print. Last but not least is the work order. At the heart of every inspection is the work order. how you track your billable items, and any additional work that was performed. I can use the work order button from the inspection screen to access that form. At the top, again, we have a summary, order number 1303, and then we have all the customer information as well as the location information. And at the very bottom, we have our 6 joints of 4-inch drill pipe that we're charging $15.75 for, and a subtotal. Again, here I can print this for my customer, get a signature for approval, and eventual billing. And that's the process.